Great speech. Our next presenter or speaker is doing his first speech, Mr. Iran. And the first speech is normally one that's about yourself. So I'm assuming that's what the topic is. And if you could come on up and do the first speech.
So Toastmaster, fellow members, my name is Tarun Kumar, and today I want to share with you, as a part of my first speech, part of my journey of life so far. I'm from India, and have you ever been anyone to India before? This one. So for the sake of others, I think a little bit of geographic lesson is in order. India is a subcontinent, huge country, obviously not huge for 1.2 billion people that live here right now, but it's big enough. And long time back, when the continents were drifting apart, at that time the landmass called India collided with Eurasia and formed a huge chain of mountains called Himalayan range. It's so huge, it spans 1,500 miles and spans 5 countries. This mountain has a special place in my life because all our ancestors came from the Himalayas. Most of my ancestors, including my parents, they were born in those snow-capped mountains. India is known for its diversity. And to make my point, I would like to take an example of language. Just to give you an idea how diverse India is. Our constitution recognizes 22 official languages. Those 22 languages have further more than 1,500 dialects. So you can imagine a country with 1.2 billion people talking in excess of 1,600 different languages. That is precisely the reason, for the sake of administratively controlling such a big and diverse country, India, in my opinion, is the only place which is divided on linguistic boundaries. All 28 states have their own language. So what it means is, when you cross a state boundary, you have a different language, you have different food, you have a different, essentially, whole new way of life. Let me give an example. My parents were born in an area which is close to Indo-China border. So they learned a particular flavor of language. I was not born there, so I didn't go to that school, so I didn't learn that language. So they can speak, read and write a particular language which I can only understand because I didn't go to the school in that area. I was born in another state, and I learned to read and write and speak a language which my parents can't because they didn't go to the school this place. So they can only understand that. My son was born in India and then came over to US. He didn't go to any states, so he didn't know any language, at least from the India standpoint. He knows English. Have you ever observed a active UN session on TV? The common picture is like different delegates across the world, they come and they speak in their own language and somebody interprets for the sake of common language. If you were to watch a Skype session where we are talking to our family members, it's like in a mini UN session where different people talking different languages. It's very common for my parents, and it's so obvious. I mean, for you probably it's a kind of, how can like two people in the same family under the same roof can talk in 3 different languages? But in a country where there are like more than 1,600 different kind of language, and in a 10-minute bus ride you can essentially hear 10 different flavor of languages, kind of okay. I mean, we even do not think about it. So that's how diverse the India is. In fact, there's a very popular slogan that unity in diversity. That's how they convey this idea. Okay, about my education, I completed a bachelor in science with maths and physics. I wanted to do something in science, but at that time I didn't know what exactly I wanted, because the small town where we lived in, with was essentially they were all technical people, because my father was the engineer in the hydroelectric dam project, a very isolated place where we lived with our family, three of my brothers, one cow, one dog, and a large field. That's about it. In that town, there was nothing else. So after graduating, I just tried a couple of things. For instance, I tried to write for a newspaper, but that didn't work out. Then I moved on to teaching career, and for a couple of years I taught mathematics and physics to the high school kids. Later on, I shifted to computer science as a subject and became myself interested in that subject, so much so that I decided to pursue my higher education in that, and ended up doing my master's in computer applications. It was during my master's course that I came in contact with people who were working in the field of information technology, and IT was one area where people were moving all across the world. The world had become a truly global village at that time. It was then I decided, with the help of my friends, and I applied for a job position in the United States and came to US in 2005. Up to that time, in my brain, the idea of United States was whatever I had seen in Hollywood. I didn't know anything about the United States at that point. And I imagined that the whole United States was just like Manhattan, skyscrapers everywhere, people living like 100 floors, and someday I'm also going to live on 100 floor, and my friends will come and ask me, hey, how's the weather out there? So I was in clouds totally. With that mindset, I landed, and my first job was, it was in a Netherlands-based insurance firm, Aegon, and headquarters in Midwest, Iowa, Cedar Rapids. You can imagine my surprise when I landed there. It was like as if I landed on Mars or something. It was like cornfields everywhere. So I was thinking, what happened to those skyscrapers? So it was interesting. So I didn't know what to do at that point, but one thing was sure, I need to get out of this place as soon as possible. Because for whatever reason, somehow the idea of being in America and being in the cornfield just didn't go well. So within 6 months, I was out of that place. And I worked in a couple of states. I've been to North Carolina. I worked for American Express there, and for Macy's in Cincinnati. Worked for a while for Department of Homeland Security and for Chase Bank. And currently, I'm working at Office of Information Technology at the state, and I work at the Computer Center for the state of Ohio. It's a data center where we serve all the different departments in the IT needs. And by profession, probably you have guessed, I am a software engineer, and my primary job is in the area of security. I work for a group called Ohio Business Gateway. We have like 500,000 business companies registered, and we collect tax for that. So we maintain a host of applications which people use to file tax with respect to the business only, not for the personal tax. We are a very small team, like only 6 or 7 people, 7 engineers working there with 2 business analysts. These 9 people altogether, every year we contribute. We work in an area where we collect in excess of $6 billion. Last year's revenue which our application collected and distributed across various government agencies span like almost $6.7 billion. That's since it's a money specific job, so counting of these cents and penny counts, so it's like a high pressure environment because every day at 8 o'clock we need to distribute the money across different agencies and you need to do all the balancing things. But I like it because I'm in my chosen profession. Regarding my hobbies and interests, lately I have started running. I like running, long distance running. Last year I completed my first half marathon in under 3 hours. That was my goal. And my 5-year goal, I plan to complete at least one marathon. Of course, this Boston event has changed my opinion a little bit, but still I'm holding on to 5 years. Everything will, probably people will listen to Andy's idea of civility in 5 years span and nothing will happen. I hope so. Well, let's hope for the best. And regarding my another passion is to read about the various technology area specific books and the self-improvement books. One of the complaints my family, especially my mother and wife, have is I'm too much into books. And usually they ask me what exactly you are looking for, which you have not found in the last 10 or 20 years. And I have really never found a correct answer for that. How do I justify the time probably books provide me a perfect hiding place, but I have not come for a very solid explanation as to what exactly I'm afraid of or why I'm trying to hide from something. Till I came across a quote from Abraham Lincoln, which I think does absolute justice to what I'm trying to say. And I'll end on that. And the quote says, "I'll study and get ready. Perhaps my chance will come." Thank you.